Hey everybody, it's Lynn. Today I want to talk to you about multi-row bracelets. As you can see, I've pulled some beads out, arranged them on my magic rods, but I have these arranged in a very specific manner. And I want to talk to you about that because this can be very helpful if you're doing multiple rows of a bracelet and especially if you're doing memory wire. I personally don't use a lot of memory wire. I'm not real fond of it, but I know people love it. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do a memory wire bracelet. And mainly, you want it to sit in a way that it is comfortable. So if you look at these beads, what I have here, I have some 8 millimeter beads. That's these that are kind of a pink, yellow, red um, bead. I have these little 3 millimeter fire polish beads. I have these 4 millimeter beads that are these ones here. They're um, sort of a barrel bead, not really, but sort of. They have a shiny center, but on the ends, it's frosted and it makes it look a little bit like a cathedral bead. Then I have some 6 millimeter fire polish beads. And then over here, I have some 4 millimeter cubes in kind of the same color as my 6 millimeter fire polished. So what I did was I arranged the middle strand first because that's where I want most of the bigger beads. Then on the strand on the bottom of it, I don't know if you can see this or not. I will try to get it a little closer in a second. But I want my strands to be exactly, excuse me, you guys, exactly the same length. Now, these two are exactly the same length. And what I had to do to accomplish that was on this one, I had to put a couple of little 11O seed beads just to get the length that I wanted. But don't forget, you can always do that. You can use your seed beads to adjust your length. And then on this one, it's also exactly the same length. But what I want you to notice is how on these two rows, I have the beads arranged so that my large beads sit on a place on this strand that's indented. You see how these bigger beads are up against smaller beads on this one? So that's going to let those sit side by side without fighting each other. And I've done the same thing on this row. You see, the big beads sit next to small beads so that the bracelet fits together very nicely. And if that were on memory wire, you can see it would sit so that all of these beads line up perfectly. And that's really what you want to do when you're putting together one of these bracelets. Now, these rods, these are called magic rods. They were created and made by Louisa with Misty Moon Designs. And she has these rods for sale in her Etsy store. And I'll leave the information down below if you want it. The ones I'm using are 9 inches. She also has them in 12 inches, which I'm going to be ordering because these help me a lot. I mean, it's up to you how you go about your putting things together, but I've found these to be really helpful in measuring and, you know, it would be very difficult to line these beads up on a beadboard and see that they're going to fit the way they do here. And I don't work for Louisa. I don't get anything for telling you about her rods or anything. It's just something that I think they're a great invention and I think that they are very helpful. They are for me. Now, whether they will be for you or not, who can say? No one but you. But anyway, what I'm going to do now that we've talked about that, I'm going to put this on pause while I put these on beading wire because I know it's boring to watch somebody string beads onto beading wire. And then I'll come back and we'll put it together and you'll get to see exactly what I'm talking about as far as how these beads will lay when you put them on a bracelet. So if you want to take a look at that, Stand by and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back and I'm just putting the last strand together. I decided to go with the clamshells on this one. So let's just close this last one up. Alrighty. Cut off our excess wire and close our clamshell. And we're ready to assemble the bracelet now. I pulled out a 3-strand clasp. It's just a slide clasp. I love these, and I'm able to get them on and off by myself. So that's one thing I like about them. I get myself some jump rings. All we have to do at this point is put our clasp on. So we've got to be real careful and make sure we get it on in the right orientation. So let's put our middle one on first. Actually, we'll put one of the side ones on, end ones on first. Take this guy, put him on one of the end loops. Make sure you get your jump rings closed real good. Okay. Take another jump ring. This is our middle strand, the one with the bigger beads on it. Put him on. Oops, sorry. Ugh. Okay. I think you guys are going to be impressed with how easily this bracelet sits, just because the beads fit together. It makes a difference. One nice thing about these clasps is you don't have to worry about front and back because they're the same on both sides. Okay. I have another one that we're going to do that it's going to be a little bit of a design on the fly kind of thing because I've never made it. I have an idea. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we're going to find out together here in our next video. If it'll work, it'll be cool. If it doesn't, it'll be a flop and I'll just trash the video and you guys will never know. Oh, goodness. I'm just sitting here entertaining myself, y'all. Well, come here. Okay. One more and we'll have him done. Hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. You know, if you guys try any of these things, I would love to see what you make. If you want to post me a picture, that would be awesome. All right, I think I got them right. All right, I'm going to take this off screen and put it on. Okay, guys, there we go. Now, you see what I mean about how it lays so nicely? Because the beads fit together. Just like that. Okay? Very summery colors there too, y'all. So it looks like you have a really chunky bracelet when in fact you have 3. Well, you kind of do because it is one bracelet, but looks like a stack that just really goes well together. All right, guys. Well, that's our bracelet. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.